Hi everyone, welcome back. We are so excited to continue rolling for reproductive rights with an amazing game of D&D. I am going to quickly toss it over to Brent, who's going to tell you a little bit more about our game and get this game started.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brent. I'm also known as Dorklord Canada on Twitter and pretty much everywhere else on the internet. Today, we're going to be running The Guardian of the Forest by Awkward Bard. Guardian of the Forest is from the first volume of the Uncaged anthologies. It's one of my favorites, so I thought it was a particularly good one to run today. But enough about me for right now. We're going to throw to whoever is directly to my right on screen.
So that's
First.
Sarah.
Excellent.
Hi.
Sarah.
Am I just introducing?
Yeah, introduce yourselves and your characters.
Okay.
And
Hi, my name is Sarah, more colloquially known as Serotonin. I am on various different productions right now. If you want to follow me on Twitter to know more about that, you can. And I am playing Abby. She is a half-elf ranger. Abby is short for abortion rights. That's why I named her that. JK, not really. No one in the game will call her abortion rights is like her full government name. But yeah, that's about me. Am I passing it off to somebody else now, or
we can just go clockwise.
okay?
Okay, AJ, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3Ts of social media, Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid. My pronouns are he, they. The character that I am playing today is my Fire Genasi artificer named Cole, but that is Kyaol, and they will burn you if you don't donate. So donate. And her pronouns are she, he. Yeah, and I'm gonna. Jess, it's your turn.
Okay, cool beans. Hey y'all, I'm Jess. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Today I am playing Sweet G, who is a very sweet little trickster goblin. She is in the trickery domain. Half sweet, half sour. You never know what you're gonna get. And I'm going to quickly pass it over to Matt.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt, he, him. You may know me as Dungeon Glitch on the onlines. If you want to find me, I'm pretty much on Twitter. I'm everywhere, but Twitter is the only one I actually care about. So I own Gemmed Firefly, the popular t-shirt company. It's just a lot of fun. We like to donate to causes specifically like things like today. So if you're into nerd stuff, come check us out. I will be playing Hinavoth, the barbarian warlock, who's like a spiritual hunter of weird things.
Okay, well, I guess that leaves me. Hi, I'm Chrissy, mostly known as Chrissy and Keller on Twitter, TikTok, and a little bit of Twitch. And I am a bit of a TTRPG mercenary, but I mainly operate as a royal family member with QCG and casual cosplayer of my OCs. And today I'm going to be playing my super hot Southern Belle Gravitaji Wizard, Folly Faro. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. And yeah, really excited to bring her back into the dice world.
Outstanding. Okay. A few things before we jump into the game. We are using safety tools. We had a session 0 to set up for today. And so we've already discussed lines and veils with everyone in the cast. So that has all been taken care of and is happening in behind the scenes. I will mention, because the Uncaged Anthology lists content warnings at the beginnings of each module, that Content warnings for this one are snakes, loss, kidnapping, and patricide. So if you are watching and you have an issue with any of those things, this is your chance to go do something else and not put yourself through having to deal with any of that stuff, because we don't want that for you. We want you to look after yourselves. What else? We are going to be using some house rules that I use for mostly for convention games and that sort of thing, but we'll talk a little bit more about those when they actually happen. Most importantly, we are here today rolling for reproductive rights. And so every $10 that you donate, you can give a +1 to one of the players, or, and I'm just going to throw this out there because it is the far superior choice, to the DM. But however you want to give out your +1, please do donate. I think they just drop in chat who they want to donate it to. Is that right, Jess?
So you'll make a comment on your Tiltify donation, and then I'm checking that regularly. So the cast, basically, as soon as y'all donate, will know.
Awesome. So yeah, you'll see messages about that pop up in chat periodically, and I will also remind you later on. I think that's everything. So without further ado, let's get started on the Guardian of the Forest. So, all of you have been working together for the last few days. You were brought together to investigate strange goings on in the Kazlan Woods. It started with kobold and ogre attacks on outlying villages. But then there were also rumors of changes happening in the Kazlan Woods, odd environmental shifts that no one could explain. And so you have been tasked with finding the kobolds and ogres and putting an end to that threat, but also finding out what exactly is going on in the Kazlan Woods. As I said, you have been here for a few days. The edges of the Kazlan Woods appear normal. It is an old oaken forest, and at least for your first day as you journey sort of further into the woods, everything appears as normal. You don't encounter any kobolds, or haven't yet, although you have seen signs of them. But as you journey further in, you do notice that it seems to be the ground seems to be getting swampier. Trees are rotting. And species of trees that shouldn't be here, like mangroves, are sprouting up and growing in greater numbers. Would anyone like to give me history or arcana check, please?
I am good at both of those. I'll do arcana.
Okay. Someone want to take history?
Sure.
Now I'll introduce the first of our house rules, something that we talked about in the session 0. But for everyone watching at home, one of the things that I like to use in order to speed up play a little bit, of course, D&D 5e uses passive intuition, passive investigation, and passive perception. I actually like to use passive scores for all skill checks. So if a character has a passive score high enough to beat the DC necessary, then they automatically succeed rather than rolling dice. And of course, if they don't have a passive score high enough, then they have the option to roll dice to try and make the check anyway. So Cole, what is your passive arcana?
My passive arcana, that would be just like 10 plus
10 plus your bonus.
18,
Excellent.
and I rolled a 22.
Awesome. And Folly, what is
Um,
your passive history?
My passive history is a 17. I only rolled an 11, so we'll go with that 17.
Excellent. All right. So the Arcana check, you remember as you're sort of moving through here that the Caslan Woods, besides being a very ancient oak forest, is also a place where the veils between dimensions and planes thin. And oftentimes people move, people, creatures, sometimes end up slipping through and need to be either helped back home or helped on their way, depending on whether they're traveling or they just accidentally ended up in the Caslan Woods. So it is a place where odd things happen. Folly, you know from your history that there is usually a guardian in place to look after such things and to make sure that the passageways and the between planes stay balanced so that they don't affect the your world, essentially. So that is a little bit concerning because there should be someone here making sure that the nice open forest is not turning into a swamp. So I'm going to throw it out to you. You've been here for a few days, searching through the woods. How have you gotten along during this? You met just when you were hired, and you were sort of just put together as a group and sent off to look after this task. How have you gotten along in the few days that you've been out here?
I think Cole has been very upfront, but also pulls back when she needs to, of obviously seeing everyone's magical items and whatnot, and just like, it's like, is this what is this? Do these beads contain fireball?
Like, well, yes, they do, actually.
Whoa, okay, all right, okay. And like, usually we'll have his little servo buddy on her shoulder, named Skip. It looks like a squirrel.
Oh, that's a cute little creature. Does it like screeches?
You may scratch.
Okay.
That was Skip.
I will die for Skip.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Was it Abby or Sweet G that we decided had the other necklace of fireballs? One of you also got one.
Sweet G, baby.
Sweet G. Oh, we've got a matching set.
Now where did you get yours from?
Oh, well, there was a lovely little shopkeep. I might have charmed him just a little bit. He was kind of overcharged me, and but
That sounds like Ronaldo. Was that him? He's always trying to
yes.
overcharge people. Oh, he is just the worst. You got to tickle him with a feather. That's how you get what you want from him.
Oh, I'll remember that next time. Most people don't take kindly to my charm person, abilities. Yeah. I had to get out of that shop real fast.
Oh, we'll have to go sometime. Well, I love a visit to Ronaldo's. He's a good guy.
Is there a special kind of feather? Like, is it ravens, eagles? Is there?
Nope, you just got to get him right under the neck, right here. He just shuts up like a clam.
I will definitely remember that. I'll keep one on me.
Or you could tell him that you're gonna outsell him with your own magical items and everything, and he'll just try to sell you everything.
Oh,
Now, what's the fun in that?
It's fun for me,
I haven't
threatening
quite
to run him out of business.
I haven't quite figured out how to put my magic into an item. Is that something you can teach people?
I think I could show you a thing or two, and that is, but my canonical reason of putting magical infusions on myself, which I'm gonna put 2 of them on myself, and who wants magical armor?
Beyond like mage armor.
Yeah, this is like you have to have a suit of armor, and this will give you armor of magical strength.
Oh, I don't wear armor. Never mind.
Now, I don't think that I'm strong enough for armor. I'm sorry, but this sounds mighty fun. I appreciate the thought.
Okay, all right. I'll just hold it. I'll just hold it off for now. Just hold it off.
What about you, Abby? Do you wear armor that can be?
Abby has been Abby, I described Abby in our group chat as she talks better to trees than to people. And so in line with that, she is paying extra attention to all of the weird nature things that are going on. So she's like staring up in a tree away from the group. She just doesn't know how to interact or have a small talk conversation. And she, at your question, will turn and just be like, she'll like touch her like studded leather armor, and she's just like, this does well, so I think I'm okay.
Oh, all right.
Thank you though. Thank you for thinking of me. And then she'll just look back at the tree and will just be like it's like one of those moments where if you pan so that you can see her face, she just has like this huge blush just all over her face. Like her whole face is beet red because she just does not know how to handle herself.
Is that tree saying something particularly interesting?
It's not from here. It shouldn't be here. So
Where's it from?
I don't know where it's from. I just know that it's not like the other trees that are from here normally.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's a big old mangrove tree. It should be in a swamp somewhere. And in fact, right now it sort of is. The ground you're on is boggy and you're not standing in water, but it's very muddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is your, Abby, as you're studying the tree and sort of like moving around it, what is your passive perception?
My passive is 17.
Okay. So yes, you are keenly aware of all the abnormalities in this forest. There are plants that shouldn't be here. There are trees here that shouldn't be here. The ground is very marshy and getting worse the further into the woods that you go. And as you're studying this particular tree, you bump into something very solid. And for a second, you think that it's possibly Sweet G, but you quickly look behind you, and it isn't. It's a statue. In fact, it's a statue of a kobold. And it's sort of frozen in mid-attack. Like it was just about to, as its claws out, it's just about to leap at something. And it's very, very detailed. What is your passive nature check?
It would be a 15.
Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. You notice this one, and then you notice sort of a little ways back, sort of behind another tree, there is another kobold statue. The thing is, they don't look natural in that they don't look like somebody carved a kobold statue and left it here. But they are solid stone, very, very detailed. If someone did carve these, they would have put a lot of work into them. But they look alive almost. Like they were just caught perfectly mid activity.
Okay. She is gonna start poking at like the face of the kobold statue. She's going to turn to her compatriots, not really addressing anyone in particular, but she's just go, do you know any people who like making kobold statues? This seems odd.
Well, we were looking for kobolds. Is there anything in particular that turns them into statues? Because these don't look particularly made.
Could I, since one of my favored enemies is monstrosities, would I know if anything could turn things into stone?
Absolutely. And with a passive nature score of 15, yeah, you would know there are things like cockatrice can turn things into stone. There are Medusa, small M Medusa, not big M Medusa, that can turn things into stone. Yeah. You also, as you're poking at one of them, little poke a little hard, and some of the cheek flakes away a little bit. So there's now just a tiny divot in the kobold's cheek.
Abby will try to pick up the piece that fell and like stick it back on. She feels a little bad.
As you're bending down to pick up the little piece and stick it back on, you do find the little piece of cheek, but you also notice there is blood spatter, and relatively fresh.
Fighting has been done here recently.
And it seems to be traveling. This blood spatter looks like it's directional. Someone was moving when they dropped this blood.
Abby will she's like muttering about the different types of monsters that she knows that this could be, as she sort of like trails off and toward like following the trail of blood. If you are paying attention to what Abby is doing, she's clearly tracking something. And I'll say that this is not the first time you've noticed that she has done something like this. So take that as you will, that she just doesn't even signal to the rest of the people. She's just like, now I am following this little track.
Oh, well. I suppose we should follow her then.
Yep. And what is everybody else's passive perception?
14.
Also 14.
Okay.
Passive perception is 12. I didn't realize my perception was that low.
All right.
You ready for this? 8.
Yep. Okay. So Sweet G and Hina, you also notice you see Abby start to just head off, obviously tracking something, and you sort of like look at the ground where she was standing, and you do notice the same like blood spatter that she noticed. So you have an idea of what's up and why Abby is doing what she's doing. Follow, you trust in your compatriot. If Abby says there's something to follow, obviously there's something to follow. Cole, you don't know. Like everybody just like stopped talking and took off in a direction, and so you're just gonna trust and go along with that.
Yeah, I think Cole was just like looking at like just kind of like kind of like still thinking about the weird magic that's around here. And then just kind of be like, oh, we're going, hold on. And just kind of like two like magic circles like form in his hands, and the armor will just kind of start expanding onto her and everything.
Nice.
It's like, all right, cool. I guess we're going, and well, let's go.
Awesome. I'd also like to imagine that, like, just before Abby took off, she just sort of like took the little piece of cheek and just sort of went and stuck it back on, and then yeah, and it stays there.
Abby is just 5 feet tall, trekking into these woods, like just short little elf, just look at like almost nose to the ground. Like that's I wanted to imagine that's how comedically she's doing this.
Yep. Yeah, and it's not a hard trail to follow, mostly because you keep coming across more what you've determined at this point are petrified kobolds, and also still more blood. As you follow the trail, you are now starting to hear the sounds of yelling and insults being shouted, and can't make out exactly what's being said yet, but there's the clash of steel on steel, all the sounds of combat coming from just ahead of you.
Abby readies her quiver, like her bow and arrow,
Okay.
sort of notches it but doesn't pull it taut yet, so she's just like going like that.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell Skip to see if I can get a closer look, and Skip will jump off my shoulder, and like right before landing is like it doesn't like just starts floating and flying off.
Okay.
Flying squirrel's not suspicious at all. No, not at all.
Very nice.
Yes. I mean, usually flying squirrels just go in one direction, down, but
Like a harrier. Just
yeah.
Like this is like a full, just like a black squirrel you see in the park, just floating.
I don't know what would be funnier to me if it was just a black squirrel with one of those actual like flying squirrel suits that you can get.
It's just like
or if it's just a black squirrel who is flying on its own.
the full jetpack.
Yeah, it's still doing the full arm extensions as if it was a flying squirrel, but there's just nothing there. There's no wing. There's no.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So yeah, Chip flies forward.
So Hina, this whole time was more or less just like checking the perimeter, watching around us. When Abby goes through the woods, chances are she passes her. So when Abby readies her weapon, Hina, this very tall, muscular Githyanki, just slides right into place next to her, weapon ready.
Okay.
That's so hot. Anyway. That's all I got.
Mommy, sorry.
I know.
Mommy,
Mommy,
sorry.
sorry.
Mommy.
All right.
Today is a good day to fight.
You look like you'd be quite fantastic at it.
If the gods will it.
Well, hopefully they do. I mean, I'd love to see that. That sounds like fun.
She has this
Yeah.
really jagged, just great sword. She just kind of like twirls and boom right into the ground.
So just Cole is just whispering to everyone else. Is like, so we're just all crushing on Hina, right? Like that's the thing. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, all right, cool.
Big, strong.
Okay.
Mm.
Abby, while everyone is crushing on Hina, you look into the clearing, and you see a fight going on. Someone is being swarmed under by a great number of kobolds. And by great number, I mean like eight or 10 of them. The someone who's being swarmed under, however, is quite clearly a Medusa. You know what that is. You can see they're not really armed like a combatant. They seem to be holding their own, mostly because the kobolds seem to be very wary of making eye contact. And in fact, as you watch, you can see two of them are trying to sneak up behind with a net, obviously intending to capture the Medusa. And she notices them and turns around, and her eyes glow with this golden light. And the two terrified kobolds like freeze in place for a second, and then they just like turn gray and turn to stone. And she shouts out, "I will not go back. I will not be a prisoner." And she bolts away from them towards you, stumbles, falls to the ground, basically at your feet. And as she looks up at you, she's like, please, you have to save me. Don't let them take me.
Yeah, Abby gets a hunter's mark at the ready. She's and then she shoots the nearest kobold that's trying to attack.
Okay, go right ahead.
Okay.
So let's bring in like the second of the house rules. So as an extension on the passive skill checks, I also like to do the first attack everyone makes in their combat round is also for lack of a better term, a passive attack. So you take 10 and add your attack bonus to that and tell me what that is. If that is not high enough, you are still welcome to roll, of course. But we'll see if the first one attacks.
Okay.
So what?
So it's 10 plus my attack bonus.
That's correct.
Okay, so that's 20.
That hits.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I will. Hunter's mark is an extra d6.
Mhm.
That'll be 14 piercing damage.
Okay. Yes. One of the kobolds who had started chasing towards the Medusa, you line up a shot and you just drop them. Your arrow goes right through them and thumps into a tree behind them, and they sort of like just, with a shocked expression on their face, they sort of look down at the hole in their chest, and then they just collapse to the ground. Before we roll initiative, I'm just going to have everybody like do one thing. So I think Hina, you were setting up next to Abby, so go ahead. What is your?
Yeah. By any chance, is there like a tree maybe around the size of a telephone pole, like
Yeah,
right around
absolutely.
there? I'm gonna use my telekinesis and just yank it down to narrow the field, so like they all kind of have to funnel through one spot.
Okay.
And just so you might just see like The air kind of ripples around her head for a brief moment. She reaches out, twists her forearm, and comes back, and the tree just snaps, drops halfway across the path, and birds and dust and leaves come gushing up.
I love it. Yeah. A bunch of other kobolds who were about to attempt to chase after the Medusa are suddenly, some of them are struck by it, not enough to kill them, but they are injured by it. But this, I'm going to say, sort of massive mangrove tree just comes crashing to the ground, cutting off their advance. And they let out a series of like yelps and snarls. And would anyone else like to do anything?
How far away are they from us?
Right now, they're about 20 feet.
Okay. Cool. Like that's from all of us?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, I mean, I hate to ruin a perhaps a good necklace, but at the same time, I haven't really had a chance to use it yet. So I'm gonna take off one of these fireball beads. I'm gonna toss it right in the middle of that little group right over there.
Okay.
So they gotta make a dexterity save.
Okay. What's the DC?
It is 15.
Okay. Two of them make it, 5 of them do not.
Cool.
What is the damage?
Oh my.
That is 8d6. And then half on the successful save. So that's 36 damaged on the failed save and 18 on the ones that succeeded.
Okay. All right. So there's supposed to be a thing in here where they see the party there ready to defend the Medusa, and the kobolds just run away.
Well,
That doesn't happen in this universe. The kobolds, the kobolds, having this tree just crash down in front of them, are trying to figure out how to get around the tree and what to do next. When suddenly they are all engulfed in fire. And there is nary a kobold to be seen. There is just some drifting dust as the explosion of flames disappears.
I'll do it.
For a tiny bead, these pack quite a bunch.
Abby says that was hot, but you can tell she was like, she's talking about like literally. She's not talking about like whether that was sexy or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, most of the things I do tend to be actually, but thank you. Oh, yeah. That's a little opposite of my usual powers, but yes.
Abby puts her quiver back on her back.
Yeah.
And for Cole's interest, you notice that it gleams with like there's a magical property within the bow. Abby probably wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, here's all my cool magic shit. So like, I don't know if you know what it is, but yeah, it does have a magic.
We'll find out.
I mean, it's been a couple of days, Cole. You might have done like if Abby didn't volunteer that information, you might have like, when everyone's bedded down for the night, snuck over and just sort of like looked it over. So if you want to do a check to see if you know what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an Arcana check.
Yeah, sure.
You're fucking
Wow.
crit. I know exactly what I know
God.
exactly what that is.
All right, I'm just gonna read out what the stuff.
The beats.
It is a short bow of certain death, which basically means that any damage that is done to a creature with this bow, it means that they cannot regain hit points. So they would not be able to heal themselves
Oh my.
until the start of my next turn. So as long as I'm continuously doing damage, they cannot regain any hit points.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like had my hand to like take my crossbow out, and then I just kind of drop my hand, and I'm having like an existential crisis on whether I think Folly or Hina is hotter right now. So I think maybe I'm just clutching at my fireball necklace, like, holy shit.
Clutching your pearls.
I think Cole is actually currently looking through Skip's eyes. How far has Skip gone to scout?
Well, Skip got to the edge of the clearing and sort of saw the kobolds and the Medusa engaged in that fight, and that's sort of as far as Skip got, which is good because I mean Skip was not in the area when the fireball went off.
Yes.
But you do have that sort of dissociative moment of you're looking through Skip's eyes, and then just suddenly there is a fiery explosion in front of Skip. Enough that you do that sort of like, VR goggle thing of like, like, and the Medusa, who is essentially kneeling in front of you, Abby, had her back to this whole thing. So all she felt was a very hot flash. The diameter of the explosion came very close to all of you.
Just like a whoosh of a tree falling, and then.
You ever been somewhere where you're starting a campfire and someone insists on dumping a bunch of like either barbecue lighter fluid or gasoline on the fire and then starting it, and you get that sort of like, and then it dies back down? Yeah, it was very much like that.
There's always that one chaos gremlin.
Yeah. So yeah, so the Medusa just felt the fireball against her back. You actually saw it coming, Abby. So I'm not sure which one of you is a little bit more frightened by that, but she looks behind and sees that like there's just no kobolds left. There's also not much of that like mangrove tree that Eno pulled down. It's looking sort of like charred and blackened. And she climbs to her feet and says, "Thank you. My name is Petra."
As in petrified.
She gives a little sigh of, gosh, I've never heard that joke before, sigh.
I'm just saying. It's an appropriate name. It's a lovely name. My name is Folly Farrow. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Folly, thank you. And you are, now that her eyes aren't glowing gold and she's not trying to petrify anyone, she does have these very nice like green eyes. They match the green eyes of all of the snakes that are like writhing around on her head. Except the snakes have vertical pupils and she has vertical pupils as well. Anyway, but and your name? And she's looking at you, Abby.
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 And like she does that like mouth like open and shut thing, like she doesn't know if she should say this. Do your snakes have a preferred way of addressing to Petra? Do they have a name? Yeah.
Oh, no, they're all part of me. These are all
Okay.
Petra.
Okay.
I think I walk forward at that time and I like am making eye contact with all of the snakes, and then finally to like body Petra. I'm gonna top Petra and then body Petra. And then I say, well, it is so nice to meet you, Petra. You have just the most dazzling green eyes I have ever seen. And I love this.
Oh.
You just look fabulous.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
you
I'm
really
Sweet
got
G.
me.
I'm Sweet G, by the way.
Oh, sweet G, nice to meet you. Yes, as you're approaching, like a couple of the snakes sort of focus in on you and then and nod as you get close. Um, um, and yes, a few of the snakes are taking in like sort of everybody. And says, well, thank you very much. The kobolds were trying to take me back. I don't even know where to begin. I'm afraid I may need to ask your help. You see, my parent is Ophion. They're the guardian of this forest. They're very, very old now. They've been training me to take over for them. And in fact, we were doing the ceremony that would transfer their power to me. But one of the other students, Mergus, became jealous. And Mergus interrupted the ceremony and took Ophion prisoner. Unfortunately, Mergus decided to let me go. He didn't think I was important anymore, but I seem to have taken some of Ophion's energy, and Mergus now needs that back. Kitty. Oh, MJ.
Is Morgus a Medusa like yourself?
No. Mergus is a dragon.
At the mention of dragon, Abby immediately bristles and is just like, where?
Oh, I believe back at the temple. All this change that you see going on is because of Mergus. And she points at like the swamp, the swampy ground and the mangrove trees. Because of the ceremony that was interrupted, Mergus has access to some of Ophion's power and has been using it to change the environment to suit himself. As Ophion,
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I was just gonna say, who voluntarily wants a swamp? This is just getting all sorts of mess on my boots.
Abby, is there normally a swamp dragon?
Is there normally a dragons like in swamps or like
Like a dragon of the swamp, or like
what would I
it-
know about
yeah.
my other favorite enemy?
That would be nature or arcana. And sorry, what was your passive nature?
My passive nature is 15. I don't even want to say what my arcana.
That's fine.
I'm
passive
the
15 is
arcana
enough.
guy here.
Yeah, black dragons. Black
Mhm.
dragons favored swampy terrain.
Yeah, she will relay that information.
Interesting.
Mergus is young, but he's managed to steal some of Ophion's power, and as you can see, is creating a domain for himself. We need to stop him. He'll destabilize all of the gates in Kazan Woods, and who knows what creatures will come through then.
You want us to fight a dragon?
Yes,
Cool.
I can lead you to the temple, and I can even get you inside. I'm afraid I'm not much good in a fight, but I can get you where you need to be. Hopefully we can surprise Murgus.
Abby just, I don't like evil dragons. There is no tortured look in her eye of like a tragic event that happened with dragons. This is just a matter of fact thing that she said. There is no trauma of like a dragon killed her family. She just does not like evil dragons. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Did the little kobolds, did they work for this dragon, or were they just kind of an unfortunate addition?
Well, the kobolds and the ogres that live in this wood actually worked for Ophion, helping him keep the gateways stabilized and safe, warning Ophion of any strange occurrences in the woods. But kobolds are weak. They will follow the strongest master, and right now that is Murgus.
What little traitors. Have they no sense of loyalty?
Oh, apparently not.
You just hear Hina just kind of grunts. Using her telekinesis, like her sword just like snaps out of the ground, orbits her once, and then fixes to her back. And she's like looking forward into the forest. Just, the gods gift us this challenge today.
Oh, we get to see you fight. All
You s-
right, yeah, let's go.
You see just a big old smile come across Sweet G's face. Because she really wanted to see it. And now here it is.
We're gonna get a show, Sweet G.
Now you stop it.
Well, Cole is just like, see, I don't use weapons like that, but now it's giving me an idea for a future tech thing. Maybe if I level up in the future, I can do it.
What if we leveled up right now?
Whoa!
I
I don't think I would be able
We
to.
all have
Hold on.
Sailor Moon transformations because we are.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I would need to level up 2 more times for me to get another infusion.
Oh.
For
Well.
$1,000 donation.
We level up twice.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Also, speaking of donations, thank you to everyone who has donated so far and given bonuses to all of the players. Thank you so much for that. I cannot express my extreme disappointment that no one has given me a +1 yet. But I'm sure despite that, you were all good people, and thank you so much for donating. All right, so
I'm trying to guilt them. Give it to us.
Look, we
All
have
right.
to fight against a frickin' dragon. We need it.
Mhm.
I don't know, it
Also,
could be
frick
a-
fracking. Oh my god, that was adorable.
yeah. And you don't know, this could be like a really sickly dragon with, has a bad cough and
I'm gonna kill it.
I'm rolling insight on our DM right now.
You don't have a die high enough. All right. Yes, so Petra is more than can lead you to the temple at the center of the forest, which is unfortunately now more at the center of the swamp. And you'll find as you head towards the temple that it just gets more and more like a bog or a swamp. I know I'm driving naturalists crazy in the audience because bogs and swamps are not interchangeable. They are actually two completely different.
If you want us to change and use the correct vernacular, donate.
No, exactly.
Donate.
Yeah, donate and I'll pick one and stick with it. But until then,
You got both.
yeah. So you go deeper into the moors, and anyway, yes, when you arrive at the temple, she doesn't lead you right up to the front doors, but she does lead you to a spot where you can sort of see the temple and you can see the doors to the temple. You do see that the doors are guarded by a number of winged kobolds, as well as a couple of ogres. They don't seem to be particularly attentive guards. What they seem to be doing mostly is the winged kobolds are picking on and teasing the ogres, and the ogres are just having to take it because the kobolds are able to sort of like flap out of range. And so you just hear, the sounds of disgruntled ogres and laughing, cackling kobolds. Taking this in, Petra does say this is that's the front doors. There is another entrance. It's probably locked, but it would actually get us inside without having to go through that.
Oh, well, I do love a good back door.
Yep, that's the thing. All right.
Chrissy just gets inspiration from that.
Yeah, actually, Folly, take inspiration.
Oh, don't make me laugh. Sorry.
That's your punishment.
All right. Oh, there you go, Brent.
Yay! I will mark that down.
All right.
Save it for an appropriate moment.
I mean, I guess the question is, do you want to save up your fighting for this dragon, or shall we knock out these guys?
I'm fine to fight, win, and fight again.
That's so hot. Anyway, Abby, I think, is gonna just defer to, like, she's down to fight, but like if other people are like, nah, they're gonna sneak around, then she'll do that.
Oh, I'm ready to do something because I didn't get to do anything last time. So, as my old man would say, Leroy, get off my lawn, and we'll go in.
Okay. I'm just imagining like all of you discussing, okay, so do we want to fight them? Do we want to save our stuff for the wait, where's Cole? And Cole is like 20 feet out into the clearing heading towards the anyway. No, I will not determine where you're moving, but yes, Cole moves out to actually get into the fight. And so let's have everyone roll for initiative, please.
Oh yeah.
Rolled
Oof.
1.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, so
God.
since you initiated this, Cole, we'll start with you. What did you get?
I got a 20.
Hot.
Yep, I am a fire genasi.
Extra hot.
All right, Tina.
I have a 12.
Okay. Abby.
So about that. I'm never rolling on D&D Beyond again. I rolled a 6 because I got a natural 1.
Oh,
Oh my god.
Oh, no. Sweet G, you rolled a 1. What does that result in?
3.
Okay. And Folly.
I rolled a nat 20 for a 22.
Okay. Do all right, Folly, you're up first.
All right. Well, how far away are these?
So you're about 30, you're sort of in the edge of the forest slash swamp, about 30 feet away from the doorway. And they are sort of all clustered together. Because the 3 kobolds that are there are, like I said, teasing the 2 ogres. So they're sort of flying above them a little bit. So, but they're all in like a 10-foot diameter space.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. I'm gonna point at them, and I'm gonna cast Magnify Gravity. I'm gonna just go ahead and cast it at first level. I think I went a little hard with my fireball, so let's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously I know what it does, but for the people watching, could you please tell me what Magnify Gravity does?
So the gravity in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on a point I can see increases for a moment, and each creature in the sphere must, on the turn that I make or cast the spell, they must make a Constitution saving throw. And on a failed save, they take 2d8 force damage, and their speed is halved until the end of the next turn. On a successful save, a creature takes half as much damage, but suffers no reduction to its speed.
Okay. And what's the DC on that?
That is an 18.
Okay. Ooh. All right. Gravity is a harsh mistress to everyone today. So all of them fail their saves.
Sweet.
All right.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Sweet action, Jackson. That good damage too. That is 15.
Okay. So what you see, or what everybody else sees, is Folly steps up and points a finger at them, and you're maybe expecting like another fireball, and there is, for a second, there is no visible effect. Suddenly, the 3 kobolds who were flapping around the ogres are like just smushed to the ground, like somebody stepped on them all of a sudden, and they don't move. Like maybe the wing on one of them twitches a little bit, but they're like done. They look like they've been flattened like a tin can. The ogres are still mobile, and they're very confused because some of these kobolds hit them on the way down. And they look like they've also been sort of like hit by whatever got the kobolds, but they're looking around like and then they see Folly waving at them, and they're like, and they start trying to move towards, and you can see them struggling to like move a foot. They've actually sunk like almost up to their knees in. It's okay. It's a swamp. There's frogs. They've sunk like almost up to their knees in the bog around them. And so as they try and step forward, there's that sort of like slurping sound as they try and get themselves free from the bog and don't, they almost fall initially. And sorry, what were you going to say, Polly?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, sorry, that swamp really slows you down, huh?
Anything else you would like to do on your turn?
Nope, that is, I don't really think I can do much else. I don't think I really have a lot of bonus actions as a, what is it? Nope, I don't. So no, yeah, that is my turn.
Okay, Cole.
So what they also see is just this armored being coming towards them. But the armor is pretty like, think the power suits from Spy Kids 3D,
Nice.
but less
call.
bulky.
Okay.
Yeah. And the helmet is like, it's like it's a helmet and it straps around, but shows still Cole's mouth, and Cole's goggles are over her eyes, but there's a slit like a Captain Marvel slit to show his flaming mohawk afro.
As you
And
do.
It's amazing.
and just like is just like probably just like slide like mud sledding down this whatever hill they're on. And
Yeah, it's not difficult. There is nothing but like mud and pools of water around you. So
cool. I'm just gonna run up to one of the ogres, just like grab them by the face and cast Shocking Grasp.
okay.
Bull's hot too. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes, I am Fire Genasi. That is a 20 to hit.
Oh my.
Yeah, that easily hits.
Cool. They take 7 lightning damage.
Okay.
And unfortunate. Oh wait, I get 2 attacks. Oh,
Yeah,
hell
you
yeah.
absolutely do.
Can I do Shocking Grasp again? Like I don't know. Like I don't know what.
If there's, I mean, if that's part of the suit, if that's how it works, then absolutely. You would have to tell me.
I don't know if that is a thing that I can do. So I'm just gonna say I just do the Shocking Grasp for now.
Okay. Do you want to do anything as a second attack? I mean, you're there. You might as well. Those hit points aren't going to lose themselves.
Yeah, they aren't gonna lose themselves. You're right. I'm trying to see if there's
It's too cool not to do.
no, I'm not gonna none of my cool items are gonna be useful at this moment. You know what? I'm just gonna punch them.
Sure.
It's just gonna do 1 damage, but I'm gonna punch them. I won't punch them. I will not.
Yeah.
That is a nat 1.
That is okay. I'm going to say, because the initial attack was so cool, you were the only one who realizes that you even made a second attack and missed. But you do know that you like tried to punch them and didn't. But to everyone else, it just looks like you were just catching your balance for a second.
Can we reflavor that? That is like I was going in for the punch and then just like
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. We can reverse the order on that. So yeah, and that ogre is not happy. You just got
Stay
a
mad.
face full face full of 9-volt battery. That's not
Oh,
not pleased.
I
It is-
mean, that depends on who is that's some people's idea of a kink, to be quite frank. You'll find that in the book that you're reading right now, actually.
Good to know.
Yeah, electrotherapy.
All right.
It's fine.
It is the ogre's turn. All right, yeah.
Come on,
Um,
try to hit me.
So yeah, the ogre swings out at you. Does a 19 hit?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, it does.
all right.
Do I have?
Okay. Obviously a little woozy from having gravity suddenly ramped up and then getting like electrocuted in the face. But 6 damage. 6 bludgeoning as it just punches you.
No. I was at 69 health. You ruined it. You'll pay.
Oh, thank you.
And the second one is going to try and the second one is the one that noticed Folly. So the second one is going to actually try and get to Folly, but can only move at half speed because of the gravity effect on them. So you can see, I mean, ogres are heavy. You would expect them to sink into the mud a little bit. This one is like they look like they weigh 3 times what they normally do because they're just sinking up to their knees as they try and slog towards, and they're getting frustrated and bellowing because they can't move as fast as they would normally move.
Are they walking past me?
Yes.
Can I punch them?
Yes, you can take an opportunity attack.
My punches are not good. I don't know why I keep on trying. I'm gonna take that. Does a 12 hit?
No.
Dang, I used my +1.
I mean,
I respect the hustle though.
yeah, I mean, it does hit, but it's an ogre. So flavor wise, you land a punch like very solidly on like that big, thick, like, shoulder blade muscle. And and you're like, ow. And the ogre doesn't notice. So that's probably a good thing. Yeah, so the ogre gets about halfway to Folly with its move, and then just ineffectually, like, gets frustrated and ineffectually flings mud, and that's about all it does on its turn. Oh yeah, I should see if I can hit Folly with.
This outfit is couture.
Oh yeah, as you notice that
It's about to be mud couture, so
as Cole is fighting in this swamp, this armor, not a single speck of dirt on this armor.
Love it.
Yeah, like every single time like they move and it sloshes immediately, just not even, it doesn't even fall off, it just goes on, it just disappears.
Ooh.
nice. So
Can
Folly-
you help me make something like that for my outfit? Because
does a 17 hit you, Folly?
it would, but I'm gonna cast shield because I'm not letting mud get on me. It doesn't even do damage, but I'm vain enough that nope.
Love it.
Oh, love it.
You ever just use a
so-
spell slot to not get dirty?
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah.
like this basketball-sized wodge of mud comes sailing towards Folly, and just as it's about to like impact right down the front of Folly's outfit, this glowing shield stops it and slides to the ground.
I don't think so, buddy.
And the ogre, he gets even more frustrated We're now into like full on Walmart tantrum territory at this point. So Hina, you're up.
All right. I neglected to mention that part of Hina's setup is that she casts mage armor at will.
Okay.
So it's gonna be typically you don't see it. It's more of this like hex weave translucent mesh that only if something engages with it does it flicker for a moment. So seeing the ogre closing in on Folly, you'll see Hina just dash and slide. And as she's coming in, she's going to use as a bonus action the telekinetic shove to see if she can knock him over. So it would be a strength save of 12.
Okay.
I don't expect it to work, but you never know.
Well, when the DM rolls like that, yep, fails the save. So
Oh my! So you're just prone. So yeah, you see Hina just like dashes and turns her heels and slides through the mud. And with this flash of her eyes, the ogre falls over, and then her blade just comes up, wheels around, and she's casting booming blade at the same time, and just drops it straight into its chest.
okay.
Oh my.
Like great sort of warning, doing some damage here.
And what's your passive attack?
Oh well, I rolled a 16. So my passive attack would be let's see, I guess it would be a 16 on its own.
Oh, okay. So that is still a hit. So
Okay, cool. So we'll do that damage, and total of 8, and then the booming blade is a D8. 4 and 8. And now if it moves, it'll take an extra shock of the booming blade. And with my second attack, I'm just gonna she's just gonna spin one more time, just drive this sword one more. Oh, I have advantage because it's it's prone.
yep, you sure do.
There's a 19. I'll take that. Damage of a total of 13 more.
Okay.
So she's this blur of green skin and red cape.
Awesome. Yeah. That finish. So what does it look like when you finish off this ogre?
It's in 2 parts, and she's standing with like 1 foot on its midsection, and it looks back at Folly. It says, "Strong work."
Oh well. Yeah, no, that was something quite impressive.
Her eyes kind of glimmer and with the devil sight. She winks at you.
Oh. Mommy? Sorry. Step on me? Sorry.
All
She's gonna shake the blood off the sword though before she fixes herself. Look like samurai style, just whoosh.
Is that toward
Alright.
Polly or?
Oh, right into the mud.
Okay.
Yeah, that
And the
might
mud
she
missed
might
you. Here's
How
the
many
blood.
times you gonna cast shield today, Polly? Come on.
I feel like she would unshield for that.
Yeah. All right.
The shield stays up for the rest of the round. Molly, you
Yeah.
gotta put it away.
What are you doing? Oh, yeah, okay. No, that's a good call. Yeah. All right. Well, this is the part of the initiative where the kobolds would go, except they are smushed in the mud. So, Abby.
Abby, the ogre that is with
Only-
Cole is still up, right?
That's
Okay.
right, yeah.
Abby is going to attack that one with her short bow. with her Colossus Slayer thing, she gets an extra D8 of damage if the creature is below its HP maximum, which I believe it is.
Sure it is.
Yeah, I shocked it.
That's a 20 to hit.
It is.
How long has it been since the first kobold attack, would you say? That like
Oh, since you rescued Petra,
mhm.
I would say it's probably been half an hour. It wasn't very long.
Cool. My hunter's mark is still active.
Okay.
So that's an extra D6 as well. Yeah. That's gonna be 20 piercing damage.
Okay. And what does it look like when you finish off this ogre?
I don't know how well I've been able to perceive that Cole has been a little bit struggling with landing a punch on this thing. But yeah, I think that all of a sudden, like, Cole is like trying to attack these ogres as it's everything is going around him, and then all of a sudden, like, if Cole like goes to look back at the ogre that I was just dealing with, all of a sudden there's just an arrow straight between their eyes as it just falls dead. And Abby just says, I got you, and then turns to see if maybe we need to attack the other kobolds that are there, but then she's just like, I don't know, they're all on the ground. So I think she'll hold off her attack in case like we might not have to.
Okay. Sweet G, I am so very sorry, but we're out of initiative. The rest of your party is so incredibly efficient.
I think still clutching at the fireballs, I say, now, y'all, I want to play with my hot balls too, okay? Folly can't have all the fun. Save some for me next time, okay?
Sweet G.
It's just like next time.
Just for the record, I'm sure we've got plenty more that we're gonna have to fight. But if not, we can both after this, go clutch some pearls together.
Now that sounds like a hoot and a half. I'd like that.
All right. With that, you have cleared the guards away from the front entrance, and can enter the temple. Yeah, what would you like to do at this point?
I just point, like, it's just like gestures towards Petra, just like lead the way.
I would like to cast Find Traps
Okay.
as we are entering this area. So basically this would detect any traps, it would also sense an area affected by the alarm spell, a glyph of warding, or a mechanical pit trap, but it would not reveal a natural weakness in the floor or unstable ceiling or anything.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, good call. As you're going in through the front door, your detect traps does notice several, because you know that kobolds love traps. They're not always the most effectual things, but they do love setting them. And so as you're entering in, you do notice several little like trips and snares and things that might not cause a huge amount of damage, but would probably knock someone prone, and then you would get swarmed with kobolds. That's how kobolds fight.
I think also in the same vein, Cole is just gonna put her arm up and just kind of like look in a compartment, take out a stick, and it's just like, all right, let me remember how to do this.
Ooh.
And it is a wand of secrets. I want to look for a secret door. If
Okay.
there's any secret doors nearby, the wand will pulse and point toward the nearest one.
Alright. So you cast, and there is nothing yet. Your wand gives no sign that there's a secret door nearby. But you are safely through the entrance and into the sort of entry room of the temple. And even inside, the temple itself is succumbing to whatever Murgus is doing. The ground there's like probably about 4 inches of water on the ground. You can see vines and trees, and every available surface is covered in moss. If it wasn't for the wall, if it wasn't for the ceiling above you, you would swear you were still outside in the swamp. But Petra looks around and says, "This way," and she leads you off towards a passageway.
For reasons unknown to me, Sweet G is not in like battle mode yet. I don't know why. But she scooped up like a cattail from the swamp. Y'all know what a cattail
Okay.
is?
Mhm.
Yep.
Like, okay, perfect. And I think just like kind of taking it to Hina's like back to like see if she can trick her. Like trying to like a bug feeling.
Okay. Yeah.
If Hina doesn't respond to any of that, I think maybe I'll just walk forward and say, "Now, where did you learn to fight like this?"
Ina picks up on it and just kind of like instinctively like grabs it, but sees what it is and just kind of like releases and feels kind of bad that she crushed it.
Oh, that's okay. That's fine. But yeah, where did you learn to fight? Very impressive.
Um, my people, we are from the astral plane. We hunt. We go where the gods will us.
You are just such a mystery, and I love mysteries. And I just keep on walking.
Okay.
Abby heard hunt and is now next to Hina. Whether or not Hina noticed. And she's just like, what do you hunt?
I hunt for the safety of all and for the glory that will bring us in the afterlife.
That's cool.
Today, we hunt dragons.
Yes, today we hunt dragons. And like Abby got so at the beginning part of that answer, Abby was a little disappointed because she was literally hoping to talk about like cool hunting stories. And then now her excitement has gone back up at the mention of dragons, and she pushes forward to maybe like the front of the group because she's very excited. This is her first actual dragon.
Yeah, we definitely exchanged that same look of, yeah, this is gonna be dope.
Yeah.
If anyone is paying attention to Cole, she is just she's like looking at Skip. It's like, all right, Skip, you know the deal. I'm gonna give you. And it looks like she is just holding a small metal cube, and just gives it to Skip, and it's just like, you'll know what to do. And Skip is just like, it's kind of like part of its chest opens up, just puts it in there, just
Very cool.
Yeah.
So Cole, I've noticed that you've managed to walk through in that entire murky mess, and you have nary a spot on you. Like these boots are quite pricey, and this corset. Oh, it's so hard to get stains out of. Can you show me like how to make sure that my accoutrement doesn't get dirty?
Oh, yeah. I can whip you up some good armor that or like something equivalent to this because I also got really tired of fighting in like very dirty places and having to clean this armor every single time. So then I was just like, you know what? Self-cleaning armor.
That's brilliant. I
Like
mean, I know prestidigitation exists, but that's
who
such a waste of
has 6 seconds?
right?
Like
Right. Well, that I would be honored to, work alongside you to learn something neat.
yeah, I got
That's
a
just
bunch of toys to play with.
oh, I bet you do. Okay, sorry.
No, Petra, in the
I'm not.
meantime,
I'm not sorry.
there's no sorrow here. Um, Petra is looking around. She has led you out of the entryway and into a long hallway. At the end of the hallway, you can see there is a massive set of double doors. And about halfway down the hallway on the right, you can see that there's another door. The hallway itself is very wide, and there are actually like large stone columns, floor to ceiling columns that go the length of the hallway. They're about 10 feet apart from one another. And much like the rest of it, all of this is the water is a little deeper here. It's probably like about 8 inches deep. So if you didn't bring your wellies, your feet are now getting very, very wet.
So I got this armor.
Yeah. Yeah, you're staying bone dry. It's everyone else who has to deal with wet footwear.
That is a quarter of my body. So
Oh.
I am gonna look around and say, now, does anyone want a backpack for this? Because that seems pretty tall for me.
Abby immediately squats.
And I
like
hop on.
ready for uppies.
I hop on, and if she's okay with it, I'll give her just a little kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
I can oh, shoot. I can actually help a little with that too. I'm gonna give Sweet G a little pat on the back, and I'm gonna use adjust density, and I'm gonna make them. Let's see. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It has to be a large or smaller. So never mind. No, I can't.
You know what? I will still take that pat on the back. It feels nice to be appreciated by your friends.
You're so wonderful, Sweet G.
No, you.
We are a party that compliments, supports, and aggressively flirts.
We are the
with-
best bra that you've ever had.
You could only. I pay $80 at Victoria's Secret for this much support and don't get it. So
At the mention of Victoria's Secret, Sweet G looks at Folly and kind of leans in and says, "Now, you're not a trickery cleric, are you?"
oh no. I sure wish, y'all seem like you know how to have a good time, and I sure appreciate that.
And you just see visible confusion on my face. And so above table, Sweet G's cleric domain is under Victoria, and she always tells people that it's a secret and that they can't learn anymore. So that was just perfect.
Nice.
Love that so much. So we're exploring this temple, huh?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Now, shh, I said it's a secret. Now, just,
My lips are sealed.
hopefully not for too long. I like that sweet voice of yours.
Oh well, thank you. I'm quite a fan of yours as well.
Oh, now you stop it. You flatter me so.
Abby is just standing there in complete silence with this conversation going on literally on her back. Just like trekking through, like being like,
Yeah.
she does not know how to contribute. So she's just
You're very strong, Abby. It's very impressive. Also, that shot was, oh, that's some fine shooting.
I would say Sweet G would be able to feel that like Abby's like tensed a little bit more at the compliment. She's just not used to it. Abby um thank you. I liked your magic with the squishing of the kobolds. I don't know exactly what it is you do. I'm not super familiar with magic, but yes, that was nice.
Oh, I do a few things, but that's one of the things that I learned in school. It's magic that warps gravity a little bit.
Seeing that Abby is super tense, I think I take my nimble little fingers and just like lean forward and say, "Now it's all right." And I just start going to town and like trying to massage her back, like, and just, like really tense and trying to get that tension out. Now you got a big knot here, Abby. You got to take care of yourself, girl. Now come on.
Okay. She just keeps going. Um yeah, she just keeps going and goes through the area.
Okay. About halfway down the hallway, Petra stops for a moment and looks puzzled at a doorway. So this isn't, this doorway should lead to the basement, but this is new. And you can see etched on the doorway some writing.
Some writing.
I put it in chat.
Oh no.
What language is this?
Can someone give me an Arcana check?
Hell yes, I can.
Do you mind if I also put it into Twitch chat?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's going to be a 17.
Okay.
Which is lower than my passive. It's one lower than my passive.
Okay. A 17 is enough that you recognize this. This isn't a separate language of any kind. This appears to be more of a code.
Mm.
So there is something to figure out. Don't worry. I'm not going to like stop the entire stream. The next hour is not going to be all of you trying to figure out this code. If you see it immediately, then we can.
So I think the last line is supposed to be speak his name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there remember in the next to last?
Yeah, so you're figuring it out. Polly, as you're looking at this, you realize that the code is very simply that there have been a number of EMs inserted into the text. And if you remove all of them, it reads, "This horde belongs to the usurper of life. Bow your head and speak his name."
Okay.
Is the usurper of life, what was the dragon's name again?
Marcus.
Murgus.
Murgus.
Do you bow your head and say Murgus?
Abby will ask if like it sounds like this is Murgus trying to get a little boost to his ego.
How arrogant.
I will tell everyone to like step back a little bit. I'm gonna have Skip go forward, and I'm gonna speak through Skip, and Skip will bow their head. None of us will.
Bless.
Nice.
Okay.
Love that.
Yeah. So Skip goes up to the door. Bows his little mecha squirrel head. And from the voice box that's oddly embedded in like the, I don't know, like the chest, you hear Margus. And there's a moment, and then sort of like flowing like mud, all the words disappear from the door, and the door just sort of sinks into the ground. And you can proceed on down to.
God, you really got to like have more friends to just keep your confidence up, because this is just sad. Like come on. I don't need like, if any, like if I had to visit any of you, I'm not gonna bow my head and just be like I'm here unless we're doing something else. But this is just a vote of confidence. It's a dom trying to be a dom that's not really a dom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
This is not good form. There's no consent here. There's no checking in. There's no like.
I wonder how good
Aftercare.
dragons. Yeah, I was about to say. I wonder how good dragons are at aftercare. I can't
mean,
imagine.
After this display, no,
I
I
feel
will
like
expect nothing.
Abby has the look of confusion on her face where she understands each of the words that are being said, but like
Yeah.
zero context.
Yeah.
You know, so she's just standing there like eyes slightly squinted. I want to imagine she just, even though they got through like the little difficult area, that she still just has Sweet G on her back for no reason. Like she's just been like, okay, yeah, this is fine.
I'm so glad that you say that, because I was imagining that Sweet G also was just not paying attention, still just really trying to work out those tensions on Abby's back.
Okay.
Yeah, so that if Sweet G is still massaging Abby, Abby every once in a while will be like, oh, that one actually felt really nice. Like she'll make little comments like that.
Good, I'm glad you think so.
Okay. And as you're all sort of gathered around the top of the stairs, this is a good place for us to take a very short break. So we'll just take a very short 5-minute break. Everyone, while we're on a break, this is a great time for you to go in, donate, and then let us know who should get the bonuses, because we do have a fight with a dragon coming up. So stick around for that.
All right, y'all, we'll be back in 5 short minutes. See you soon.
Alrighty.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the second game of Rolling for Reproductive Rights. We are back for break, and I think we are ready to enter into this lair. Ooh, I'm going to throw it right back over to Brent so he can continue DMing for us.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, don't forget, everyone, you can make donations. Every $10 of your donation, you can give a +1 to somebody in the group, or to me, which is the superior choice. And that's right, Mowgli, you fight for me. Mowgli believes in me. But yes, let's return to, so if you are just joining us, our merry band of adventurers have found themselves in the Kazlan Woods, which is in the process of turning into a big old swamp. And they rescued a Medusa by the name of Petra from some kobolds who were trying to capture her, and have learned that because of a young black dragon by the name of Murgus interfering with Petra's ascension ceremony, Murgus now has the power to affect the environment and is turning everything into a swamp just the way he likes it. And so now they need to go and fight a dragon. Just before the break, they had figured out the puzzle lock on what is supposed to be Murgus's hoard. Now, keep in mind, Murgus is a young black dragon. So, you know, hoard is probably a bit, I don't know, optimistic. He is just starting out. So there is a lot of stuff in here that the kobolds and ogres have stolen from the local sort of villages and stuff. But there are some items, and as you're sort of looking through everything, in the interest of like speeding us along, Folly, as you're examining these items, and I mean, actually, between Folly and Cole, Magic and Artificer, you are able to determine there is a bunch of coinage. There is a nice looking tapestry. There are a number of like interesting looking trinkets that don't seem to have any like intrinsic coin value, but look, you know, interesting and probably worth examining at a later date. But what might be of more immediate use to you? There is an oil of slipperiness. I was like, I'm going to say the name of that, and then I'm not going to look over at Kersey Square because I know what. And then I looked over at Kersey Square, and yeah,
Classic mistake.
Yeah, like invading Russia in the winter. There is a Qualls feather token. This is the tree version of that. There is a potion of resistance. And there is a ring of the ram. So you may be able to find uses for those in the fight to come or later. Who knows?
I mean, I got someone else can take that oil of slipperiness because I got a lot of different liquids going on. I got a lot of different options of liquids.
Hey,
So.
hey. Oh well, that might be useful for Hina. I feel like she would be fighting up close and personal.
Perhaps. So she'll reach out and she'll just trying to come up with ideas for it. Just tucks it into her cloak. Nods her thanks.
The potion of resistance could also be handy since do we know like Sarah doesn't know this. Is it like you can choose the resistance after you drink it, or is it already like a specified resistance to something?
It is not a specified resistance. You choose it upon drinking it.
Okay.
And to answer what I suspect is going to be the follow-up question, black dragons spit acid.
Yeah. Abby is just like, because black dragons specialize in acid damage, so if anyone's going to be taking any brunt of damage, this could be helpful. And then she'll just she has it in her hand, she'll just extend it to Hina as well, who just might be our tank.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Will reach out with this and you see like her nails are actually pretty fine on one hand. And well, some of her fingers anyway. And she takes it and she's like the hunt begins. She puts it away.
All right.
Is the ring of the ram and the
Qual's feather token tree.
it's dealer's choice.
Oh well. Y'all can decide between you who wants those. I've got enough magic items. And I don't think either of them would be overly meant for me.
Sure, I'll take the ram.
what does the token do?
That's what I was looking it up.
It turns into a tree.
The token does?
Yeah, it's a little silver
It's a portable
token.
tree.
Yeah.
I think that Sweet G would
well-
kind of grab towards the tree token. I mean, what's more chaotic than just throwing a token down and then a tree fucking spreading out?
Oh, I'm gonna show you what's more chaotic than that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It is a one-use item. So once you plant the tree, like once you throw it out there, you've got a tree. And
Do I get to specify the tree?
sure.
Dope.
Yes.
I want Skip to be floating already next to me. Not on my shoulder, just floating, ready to go.
All right.
I keep on almost calling him Chip. But
Nice.
it's not Chip, it's Skip.
It's Skip. I think I called him Chip once. So
If I do get if Skip goes, Chip is next.
I mean, there have to be triplets: Skip, Chip, and Kip, right?
Mhm. And then one is called Turbo.
there you go.
I could have been named Turbo.
So Petra, seeing that you've distributed the items and she's like, I think we need to go.
I think at this point Sweet G is Abby has let Sweet G back on the ground. And she again readies her bow and arrow. She's ready.
Is it dark in here? Or
Do you have
No,
dark vision?
No, it was lit. It was lit.
I have dark vision and goggles of the night. So I have probably as much sight as
Nice. Yeah, I'm barbarian, but I took all the warlock stuff that doesn't have to do with spellcasting. So I'm a hexblade and all that stuff.
Nice.
Oof.
All right. So Petra leads you back up the stairs and into that main hallway, and you come to the double doors. They don't appear to be locked or barred in any way. So what would you like to do?
Well, I suppose I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
Mhm.
How long does this last? Hold on.
Actually, no, I'm not.
I'm gonna wait for that then. Okay.
My Mage Armor barely gives it. My shield's better. Oh.
you worried about the spell slot for mage
Yeah.
armor?
Yeah.
I can cast it at will. So I just
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. So that makes me at 15. Can I add my shield to a mage armor?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a little less squishy now. Thank you very much. I didn't think you could get any hotter, and yet.
Uh, I lean over to Hina. Is like, hey, Hina, I got a sweet thing that'll buff you up once we get into the fight.
I'm grateful for whatever you may give. She casts Cole like a kind of like cocky smirk, like, yeah, we're gonna get this done.
And then just kind of Cole just kind of just like slaps her ears, I guess. Slaps her ears, and then just the helmet just like just comes back
Oh,
on.
nice. Very Star Lord.
All right.
I've never fought a dragon before. I'm so excited. This is thrilling.
Has everyone made the preparations they wish to make before entering?
How long does this potion last for? Is like a rounds thing?
Which one?
The potion
Push of
of
resistance.
yeah,
Resistance?
resistance.
I believe it's a minute.
All right, so I guess as soon as things start, if we see it, I'm gonna take it.
It's an hour.
Okay.
It's an hour. Oh, cool.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
So you can take it now if you wish, or you can. wait.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it.
Right.
Acid resistance. Let's go.
Yep.
Tank.
Or
All
hot
right.
tank.
Does that grant resistance to my clothing too, or are we in trouble? 'Cause
I'm going to say it grants strategic resistance to your clothing.
awesome.
I see which way the wind is blowing, so
Sure.
I'm not gonna.
Look, the mage armor is fine. It stays on.
Yeah. All right. So the doors are heavy, but all of you working together are able to push on them.
1,000 pounds of mind strength.
Yep, and you push them open. You can see that part of the difficulty of getting them open is that you were basically pushing them against swamp on the other side, and a little bit of swamp sort of spills out into the hallway as you open up the doors.
Is there a
Gross.
smell?
I thought you were gonna say we were pushing and there were a pull door.
Damn.
Yeah, this used to be a school. It's like it says Franklin School for the Gifted on the anyway.
Is that why there's no ramps? It's only stairs.
Yeah. The whole place is not OSHA compliant whatsoever.
It must fall.
Yeah. Inside, this is the what would have been the main temple space for this temple, and would have been this enormous domed room, if not for the fact that it has also been turned into a swamp, and even more so than any of the other places. You can see that it's mostly just murky water, rotting vegetation. The smell as you open the door, the smell and the humidity are the things that sort of hit you as you open this space. And there's also like a very acrid smell in the air. Sort of like if you've ever used drain cleaner and sort of caught a whiff of that, that's a little bit of what it smells like in here at the moment. And you can see the very first thing that catches your eye is at the far end of the room, probably about like 100 feet away or so. There is an enormous constrictor snake floating in the air. It is coiled up, and you can see its head every once in a while thrashes as if it's in pain. And there's a very good reason for that, because out of these large crystals that are sort of suspended around it, there are these black whips of energy that extend out from each crystal and are wrapped around the snake. And every once in a while, you can see one of them sort of give a very sharp, sort of sizzling noise, and the snake reacts to that as if it's been jolted. You can also, once you've sort of taken that in, you can also see that there are like a number of kobolds all over this room, as well as a few ogres. That's roll initiative.
One question. Are there flying kobolds?
There are a number of flying kobolds, probably about a half dozen that you can see.
I lied. Second question. Can Skip have his own initiative?
Sure.
Okay.
So far, it's the only companion creature in the game, so my answer might be different if everyone had a companion creature, but yeah, Skip can have their own.
Sweet.
So Cole, what did you get?
I got a 22 on my initiative,
Okay.
and Skip got an 8.
Ina.
20. Blessings upon us.
All right. Abby.
24.
Ooh.
Jesus Christ.
I rolled well this time.
Jealous.
Sweet G.
You know, keeping with the tradition of me not actually getting to participate in combat, I rolled a 5.
Oh my
Oh
god.
boy.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
I would not worry.
Look, there's a lot of enemies this time, so
Bless.
And a whole dragon, you know?
Yeah. Who you don't see.
which I'm
Ollie.
concerned about.
I rolled an 11.
Okay. Yes.
It's the final battle. Legally distinct version of the song. I
All right.
swear it's not.
Abby, you are first.
Oh, okay.
You do not see any sign of a dragon yet.
Okay. The snake that's suspended in the air, I believe you
Mhm.
said.
Yep.
Is it clear that like they are not attacking or anything? Like this is probably
No,
Petra's
they.
parent. Okay.
Yeah, you suspect this is Ophion. And in fact, that is confirmed when Petra is like, Ophion, no.
Okay, cool.
There we
And
go.
then you said there's just a bunch of kobold and flying kobold here.
Kobolds, flying kobolds, and there are a couple of ogres that are probably about like 30 or 40 feet away from you right now.
Okay.
Uh,
She is going to cast Hail of Thorns at first level.
Mhm.
And is there like a cluster of kobolds at all?
Do you want to get them on the ground or in the air?
Either.
Okay, there's a cluster of about 3 of them in the air. They're in the
Okay.
process of flying towards you at the moment. So,
Would you say they're like 5 feet from each other?
I would say that.
Cool. She's going she's going to launch her Hail of Thorns. They all need to meet a dex save of 15.
Nope.
Nice. Okay, I'm gonna roll damage then.
They are super intent on impressing the boss and are not really paying attention to their environment. And certainly we're not expecting a hail of thorns. So
That will be a 19 piercing damage to
okay. So what does it look like when your hail of thorns shreds 3 kobolds?
Oh boy.
I want to say that you see hold on, give me 1 second.
Yeah.
You see her aim at them, and then her aim goes up in the air as like she launches, and then the arrow splits in a bunch of like shards and pierces all of them.
Love it. Yeah, and these kobolds don't even know what got them. They were just super intent on getting to you and attacking, and they just sort of like do a little mid-air dance as all of these thorns pierce through them, and then they all just flop down into the swamp and float there. All right, is there anything else you'd like to do? Move or a bonus?
I think that she would like to move wherever she can get like a really good vantage point on as much of the room as she can see, and then she'll sort of hold there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certainly you can clear the door a little bit, and that'll give you like a better look into the room. So you do that. All right.
Is there like a like maybe like a walkway or like a lip or anything above the ground? Like somewhere where Abby might be able to actually like perch?
There isn't a lip or anything, but much like the rest of the temple, everything in here is overgrown with like vines and trees, and so there is certainly a way for Abby to like get height.
Cool.
Yeah.
I could also lift you. So
anyway. So you do have that option too. You do have that option as well, Abby, if you wanted to get height. There are like trees and vines growing up the walls and things like that. So if you wanted to get like higher ground, you have that as an option.
I think she's going to just expend as much of her movement going like walking instead of climbing.
Okay.
And then maybe next round she'll
Sure. Yeah, just so you know it's there as an option.
Cool.
This was a prime time to stick a Snickers in my mouth.
I'm like the
These-
server at your favorite restaurant.
These crystals, right?
Mm-hmm.
How What's the distance between me and them?
You are, this is all happening at the other end of the room, so you're about 80 feet away.
Um, that's fine. So would I have to get closer to kind of see what's up with them?
No, not necessarily. If you wanted to make a check on them now,
Yeah, I want like
if you fail, then we can. If you get closer, you can try another check because you have a better vantage point. But
I mean, I'm gonna need to get closer anyway for what I want to do.
okay,
So I'm gonna get closer. And
all right.
I guess make this Arcana check.
Yes, this would definitely be an Arcana check.
6. Tell me
How
these crystal secrets.
Holy smokes.
All right. On a 26, I'm going to say that, yeah, so Petra had mentioned an ascension ceremony, and these would seem to be something that was normally be used in that. They are definitely used in the transfer of power. So obviously they were supposed to be used to transfer power from Ophion to Petra. But that was interrupted by Murgus. Murgus seems to be keeping Ophion suspended in here, and that power is now transferring to him, but very slowly. It seems that since the rite was not, since the ceremony was not set up to involve Murgus, there's a lot of, to use electrical term, there's a lot of resistance on the line. The power is not moving as smoothly as it should or could.
I'm gonna
still, and Murgus is punishing Ophion for that. That's what he's sending a little bit of juice back down the line to zap Ophion every once in a while.
Cool. I'm gonna yell at Petra. Can I destroy those?
Petra is like, yes, of course.
Cool. How close are how many crystals are there?
There are 3.
How close are they to each other?
They are probably about like 30 feet away from each other.
Convenient. Oh well. So you just see like arcane circles wrap around Cole's arm, and just like he's like turning, and they start flashing like a white light, and I push my hands forward, and I'm gonna cast Shatter on one of the crystals.
Oh, okay. Is that a saving throw or an attack?
It's a saving throw unless they are
It's like organic or inorganic material.
yeah,
I've got
a
it
creature
too.
made of organic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. This is probably, but it's a magical item.
Yeah,
Object, right? So it's
they're
probably
not-
gonna not take damage.
Yeah, they're not creatures. They
Yeah.
are inorganic.
But they are magical.
They're crystals. No, they're not. I mean, they're in the process of transferring a lot of magic, but they are not innately magical themselves.
They're
So yeah,
conduits of magic.
if they are just objects, they just take the damage, and they also take double damage.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
And what's the damage?
The damage, 22 damage. That's doubled.
That's
Damn.
doubled? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
So
11
what's
damage. I doubled it to 20.
So you reach out, and there is a very high frequency noise And you can see, like, visibly, even at this distance, you can see the crystal begin to vibrate as this energy is still flowing through it. And then the cracks begin to appear over the surface of the crystal. And that same black energy that is wrapped around Ophion starts to spill and sputter out of the crystal. It almost looks molten. Like, it's not just light that is shooting out of it. It's like spilling out, and it's spilling out like it's lava. However, the crystal does not fully shatter. You have damaged it substantially, and you suspect that, like, the slightest bit of damage that it takes more, it will completely go. But right now, and you can even see, like, the one band that is extending out of it towards Ophion has, well, I mean,
Weakened.
it's, yeah, weakened. I was going to say dimmed, but it's black light, so it's not really. How would you tell? It's like, I don't know, it's less black. But it does look severely damaged. And you hear, like, from elsewhere it's hard to determine exactly where in the room you hear it from. It echoes off of all of the walls, but you hear this roar of anger.
I have a terrible passive perception. I'm not going to be able to tell where that comes from.
Is there anything else you would like to do?
I don't think I have a bonus action. Nope. I don't got a bonus action.
Okay.
I'm just chilling here.
All right. Hina.
All right. He like notices like the impact on the crystal and like respects like the power that just went into that. So she's gonna kind of like wince slightly, but she sees the situation and is going to move to make sure that she's the point of the group. So if anything is looking for these mages, they got to go through her first. So she's gonna saunter up, literally saunter toe to heel, just looking through her brows. She doesn't see this dragon yet, but if there is something here, and you just see like the edges of her muscles, the sinews in her arms, they just kind of glow for a brief second, and she just pounds her chest, and she duplicates ×3, casting mirror image, and they're all in different poses, but at the same time, while their mouths move, she says, "Come get that," and she's just ready.
All right. All right. Well, with that, Murgus does in fact come get that.
Let's do it.
So exploding out of the water in front of you is this black dragon. Bodily, it is the size of a Clydesdale, with appropriately sized set of black bat-like wings growing out of its back, and it just it hisses at you. So I'm going to say, because you were readying your action, you can take your first strike, and then it is going to do what it does.
Oh, I didn't have an attack ready. The casting mirror image is an action.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Nope, all good.
Yep. So it bursts out of the. Now remind me again.
Mirror image. If it is that what you're going to ask? Sorry.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So if it does actually hit me with my typical AC, I roll a d20, and it depends on which. There's 3 different tiers per the clone, and if it does hit one, that one will take that damage.
Okay.
If any clone takes any damage, it dissipates.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So it is going to bite and claw at you to start with.
All right.
Bite and claw at all of you to start with. So we'll do the bite attack first. Does a 22 hit?
I'm going to cast shield as a reaction.
Okay.
And that is my cast. So now my AC. What does that do? +5. No, 23. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Yeah, so the bite attack comes in and is about to clamp down, and everyone is holding their breath. And then suddenly there's just this glowing shield between you and
Oh, yes.
Marcus's maw.
This astral miasma.
Nice. And you can see through the shield. You can look down Marcus's maw, and there is, the acid dripping in there, and then the claw attacks come in. So
Awesome. So I'm out of spell slots. Yay, Warlock.
Is a 23?
23 will do it. That's gonna meet.
Second one's a miss. So
You have a +1 too. So
it's true.
let me see here. Mirror image. And so I'm gonna roll the D20. 14. So that means yes, one of my mirror images will take it to the face.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I have to
so,
roll over 6 and 8 and 11 as it goes.
Okay. Yeah, so one of the claws rips through one of your mirror images and just.
Yep.
And Burgess howls in frustration. And is basically just hovering in front of you. Its big wings flapping. Folly.
I'm gonna point at Marcus. How far away are they from me?
They're actually not much more than like 30 feet away from you.
Okay, how high's the ceiling?
Oh, the ceiling is like 80 or 100 feet.
Shit, I can't do what I want to do. How high are they from the? You said they came out of the water.
Yep.
Oh shit, none of that's gonna work. I guess I'm just gonna cast shadow on Marcus.
Okay.
So a loud ringing noise erupts from my point within range. I got a pretty decent range on there, and so they need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. What's the DC?
18.
Awesome. A 13 is not going to make it. So what happens next?
They take quite a bit of damage. That's going to be 27 thunder damage.
Okay.
Boy.
Yep, they take all of that.
Hell yeah.
You see, you see Murgus's body shake, much like when the crystal got struck earlier on, except it's happening to living flesh. So you see that sort of hydrostatic shock wave go through Murgus's body. And again, Murgus lets out what is sort of the equivalent of like a howl of pain and a roar, and glances over in Folly's direction and does not look happy. Skip.
All right, follow me. Skip flies over to Murgus.
Okay.
Opens up his chest. The 1-inch cube plops out and like lands right by Murgus, making sure that in a position that it's not gonna hit Hina. And you just hear Skip say, "Go Tower Zord," as I have thrown Daern's instant fortress. And it just makes a huge tower right
Okay.
by Murgus. So Murgus has to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
If
Which he does not.
he's taking 10d10 bludgeoning damage.
All righty.
What? Maybe we should have made Skip our tank.
I mean, it's only going to be 38 bludgeoning damage. And the creature is pushed into an occupied space 20 feet away.
Okay. Yeah, so and like
38.
how tall is the tower?
It's 30 feet.
Oh, okay.
It's 30
Yeah.
feet tall and 20 feet long in one direction.
Okay. So one of the things I'm going to say, just because we do have to sort of wrap up a little bit quickly.
We got to get Sweet G together and attack.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, Sweet G is going to get to attack. Don't worry about that. But one of the things I will say is because of the other shatter spell that Folly cast, and in combination with this tower suddenly like rumbling into existence, I'm going to say that's enough to shave off the last remaining. Like that crystal was so close to cracking that it wasn't. So
Sweet.
it finishes shattering. Instead of it explodes outwards for a moment, and then all of the crystals start swirling around, and some of that like molten black energy starts swirling around with it, and then it shoots over towards Murgus and slams into Murgus, and Murgus lets out another howl, as you actually sort of see, and probably something Murgus never expected to have happen. It looks like it's like acid burning its way through Murgus's body. Of course, it's not acid, so.
Interesting.
But Murgus is not looking good at that. And actually, anyone who has ranks in Arcana, I'm just going to say that you sort of get the idea that were you to actually finish shattering the other crystals, that would probably be enough to finish Murgus off, because he's a little bit vulnerable while he's connected to this source. Sweet G, it is your turn.
Is there a crystal that happens to be by Murgus?
Well, this one wasn't by Murgus. It just, when it finished, like, breaking, it flew towards Murgus and impacted with him. So you suspect that the other ones will do much the same if they're shattered.
Okay. So Sweet G is going to keep this in mind. Take out the tree coin, throw it to,
Yes.
well, okay. Let's backtrack. Sweet G
Okay.
is on her knees saying, "Now, dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus, just 8 pounds, 6 ounce baby Jesus, please do not let me mess this up in front of my brand new friends. They are so hot and I really want to impress them." And she takes out the tree coin and throws it at one of the crystals, and just thinks like, okay, I want it to be a pokey tree. I don't know what that looks like in D&D, but she just wants it to be pokey. And then she also grabs one of the hot fireballs, and throws it at Murgus and says, "Now choke on this hot ball." And
But you can do a Mexican cypress. That's one of the thickest trees in the world.
it's a dex save of 15.
Okay.
6, 7, 8.
Which Murgus fails.
Hey! And he takes 29 points of damage.
Woo!
Ooh.
Am I in that radius? It's okay if I am.
No, actually, you're not. I mean, you catch a little bit of it licking around the sides of the tower that is now in front of you.
Oh, is Mergus at the top of the tower? Is that what happened?
Well, Murgus got sort of like slammed by this tower growing underneath him and got shoved to the other side of the tower.
Oh, gotcha.
So,
Hey, the
So
tower
cool.
protect you.
There you go.
So
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
now let's resolve your tree. Go ahead and give me, let's just make it a simple ranged attack. So go ahead and give me whatever your ranged attack DC is or roll is.
Okay. Let's see. Like the hit, that would be a 14.
Perfect. So yeah, you throw this Qualls feather token towards the crystal, and just think real hard about a sharp, pointy tree, and this enormous ironwood tree. As the token spins through the air towards the crystal, comes into existence as it sort of like goes tink off the side of the crystal, and then suddenly there's an ironwood tree trying to occupy the same space as the crystal. And that doesn't work out too well. The crystal just explodes. So does the tree. There's like sawdust everywhere. But once again, the crystals sort of explode outwards, and that molten energy is released, and then it sort of all swirls together and shoots off towards Mergus, impacting again. And this time, Mergus is not down, but looking really, really beat up. Very, very close. And we are back to the top with Abby. Oh, sorry.
Sweet.
Did you want to do anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Okay.
As a bonus action, Abby is going to switch back to Hunter's Mark at level 1. She's going to, can I see Mergus?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Does he have like any cover from the tower at all?
Not from your angle, no.
Cool. She's going to then just volley a few arrows at him.
All right.
It's gonna be an 18.
That hits.
Cool. It's gonna be 2d6 plus a d8 from my Colossus Slayer. That's gonna be, if only I were good at math, 14 points of damage for the first one.
Okay.
And then
Go ahead.
does he still need another attack or no?
I was going to say no. What does it look like when Abby kills Mergus?
I think that Abby is just like, it's like there's this glint in her eye that I think is foreign to anyone, and even herself, as she is facing this dragon for the first time, because she's finally able to go against an evil dragon. And she just knocks an arrow. You see that her bow flashes in like this mystical magical light, and as she just aims, she takes a breath to sort of like calm herself, and then at the peak of her inhale she lets go, and her aim hits true, and that's the end of that.
All right. Yes. And as the arrow pierces Mergus, Mergus lets out a bellowing roar and flops back into the swamp that he created, and lies there broken and burned and defeated. And fast forwarding a little bit, so the the last crystal shatters, and that energy all recoils back on Mergus, which largely destroys Mergus's body, sort of consumes all of it before disappearing. And you have defeated Mergus. You were invited by Petra and Ophion to stay for a ceremony that very few people get to witness, the Ascension ceremony for Petra. So if you do so, they're happy to put you up, and you watch this ceremony as Ophion transfers all of his power over to Petra. And in the process, Ophion shrinks down from this sort of enormous 40-foot long, 3 feet around constrictor snake down to like a more regular boa constrictor size. And thanks you all for your help. And yeah, that is the end of our adventure.
Woo!
Yay!
So thank you so much, everyone, for being in chat, and thank you all for your donations. I want to go around quickly. We'll do it in reverse order. So we'll start with Chrissy and go counterclockwise.
Y'all, thank you for hanging out. I'm Chrissy and Keller on all the socials, and today was a lot of fun. Thank you for having me, Jess. And it was nice to meet and play with all of you.
Yeah. Same. Hey everybody, I'm Matt, Dungeon Glitch, on Twitter. Hit me up, I'm always around. Jump Firefly, Goofy Shirts. This was super fun. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, everyone. Always a pleasure playing with everyone. So happy I finally got to play with AJ. Awesome. Super cool. Thank you, guys.
Hey y'all, I'm Jess the human with 1 S. You can find me on places on the internet. Passing it to AJ.
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Sushi Kid. Twitch, Twitter, TikTok as Husha_kid.
And then I'm on Twitter at Sarah_TOW_NIN. And that's where you can find me.
Okay. And I've been Brent, your GM. Dorklord Canada, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, Jess, for inviting me on here. We got to go. So take care, everyone.